Flow still foul like a back court. Came up moving packs, went down bad poor. Could barely see the sunshine behind cell doors. Knowing when I hit the bricks, I gotta sell more. Bustin' moves every day, grinding just to live. They call it rolling dice, I call it juggling. One foot out and one foot in. I make it rain, I'm the puddle man, bubbling from mud down. From dirty paper, clean money, how I switch flow. Live my life about money, 10K, I'll switch clothes. Compare me to Gucci, can't believe how the chicks flow. Busted sips down to 20s of the disco. When I look in your eyes and the night, it's the same. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes. I'm at home in the sky, drifting by paper planes. I never listen to opposition, I ain't never paid man in the competition. I've been getting too high, my thoughts be spinning, but the mob is winning, I've been working. All this shit, it got me nervous, I don't feel like I deserve it. All the picture got me perfect, all these women I've been curving, they don't deserve it, but I've been focused now. Ain't no running out of demons, I speak with my demons, they begging me slow it down. But I'm a king with my golden crown, bitch, I'm a beast, I'm supposed to growl. When I'm asleep in the coldest ground, I know my tape finna hold it down, over, out. When I look in your eyes and the night, it's the same. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes. I'm at home in the sky, drifting by paper planes. I don't know if it's right, but the light keeps me sane. I'm alone in the ride, getting high, switching lanes, switching lanes, switching lanes.
Join memberships.
Oh my God, yes. Please say it again within the last 3 minutes. Please don't send super chats. Please don't. Please don't. Why didn't she just put a banner up that said, please send super chats? So hold on a sec. Hey, pretty sweet P. You current now? I think that's what that means. So listen, I want to read what Tig said because this is absolutely true. For some reason, she was out to get Ronnie Lawson. Remember those things about him? Could she be a part of a gang or someone in her family was? And Ronnie Lawson and TBI got them, trying to pay back, if you will. I don't know, Tig. I do know she was out to get the Churchill Rescue Squad, and she didn't want any of that fundraiser money going to Civis Bank. She was telling everybody that Churchill Rescue Squad couldn't be trusted, but they were never the ones taking the money in. It was all going directly to Civis. Penny would get up on her lives and tell everybody that a woman embezzled money from Churchill Rescue Squad and that they could not be trusted with the reward fund money. And she was very highly against anybody sending money to the reward fund because of Churchill Rescue. She hated all of those entities. She didn't want to support.
That's true. And you know what? Jody did that a little bit too. Not only did Penny not want things to go to the Churchill Rescue Squad, but she also had issues with the PIs. Anybody with any type of authority down in Tennessee, in Rogersville, in the Beach Creek area, it seemed Penny had an issue with. I am still begging Penny to put her content back up. Tiffany's correct about that.
support any of them. She hates the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office to the point she directed tips to be sent to Paul Durant instead of Tony Allen. She didn't want anything going to Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. She didn't want anything going to the appropriate people at the TBI. She wanted
so much to look back on listening to this. I'm going to have to go dig. But that's true. Jody Sue would have some content probably somewhere where she talks about how they played with Durant when the Stacey Slay stuff came up. There were calls to Durant, I believe public. Jody had some calls to Durant. There was even a time that I had spoke to the FBI down that way. I can't remember what the details of the conversation were, but it was about this. It was about the money and people playing games in Summer's case. Definitely, they played games with Durant. There is just recently, I think Jody did a live where she was bashing me, and she was talking about the games that they played with Durant, where they were sending the monies in the Discords. Yesterday when we went over some stuff, I think there was some of that in there. Maybe. They definitely played games with fucking Durant. That ain't a joke. Why was Penny close enough to just want everything sent? Just weird shit.
it to go to one person. Allegedly, she says she was very close with Paul Durant. If that's true or not, I have no idea. Maybe she was lying. Maybe she was telling the truth. I don't know. Maybe Paul Durant can actually clear that up. Maybe he can tell everybody. I'm not sure. How odd is that Penny would replace the actual contact with someone else, and she would come to YouTube and tell everyone, don't send tips to anybody but this person right here. Here's his email. Here's his contact info. You'll hear that stuff on this live too. Penny, how are you going to explain this? Are you going to talk about my kukla in the chat everywhere? Is that how you're going to clean up this mess? I hope you have a better idea. I don't think it's going to work well. I just don't. I mean, it's getting kind of old, don't you think?
During any of this live, I would really appreciate it. So, Vinny, boy, oh boy, the rumors, the accusations, and the speculations going on with.
And at this point, he has no idea what's about to happen in the years to come. Sure does now.
Everybody said we're best friends. Are we best friends, Vinny?
No. In fact, I'll tell you that I was disinterested in something Penny said a few days ago, and I blocked her phone number, actually. So that's
you know what that's called?
That is true. You did.
It's called a gut instinct. Always listen to that. Always listen to that. Don't ever back down from it. I've learned it a million times. When something tells you something's off, it is. It always is. Penny can't be trusted.
Did block my number.
Ever.
You called me a hypocrite for letting people bash you in chat, which I didn't.
No.
And
let me tell you guys, Penny is well-rounded, and she's solid in the way that she can have a very intelligent conversation with someone that not necessarily doesn't fit the same agenda, and that's one thing that I appreciate about Penny. And I'll tell you this: I know Penny's whole real identity, and she's none of these people that conspiratorialists think she is. Like, she's her own self.
Aw, Penny, you really pulled one over on him, didn't you? I think you took him for all he was worth, huh? Cray. I'm not lying when I say she's good at scamming. She is.
well, it's up to you if you want to, but are you comfortable with showing all of the conversations between, on text that we have had? I mean, it's not long and it wouldn't take much time, but I think that it would clear some things up. Now, I do know that I'm being accused of giving you information that would lead you to dox Tiffany. And what happened when you doxed Tiffany? What happened?
That didn't have anything to do with Penny at all. That came from somewhere.
See, Benny here doesn't think it had anything to do with Penny at all. That's because Penny sent Chase to do that. So Benny doesn't think Penny had anything to do. He knew months ago. Obviously, like, the truth eventually came out about all of that. But Penny lies her way through every situation. And by the way, this isn't about me. I had no idea this part was even in here. But we'll go over all of it because all of it's very interesting. But she's very, very worried about him clearing up. She didn't have anything to do with my docs, while she's worried about her old phone number that she must have turned back on recently in the last, couple months. Remember, that was her broken phone. She couldn't give us any of her correspondence with Chase. Well, now that it's working again, Penny, maybe you can. That would be great. The whole community has been waiting for your first ever correspondence with 423 Chase. Please don't drag your feet, ma'am. It's been a long time coming, don't you think? So, yeah.
Completely different.
Yes, I know, but
I almost feel bad to play this part. Don't ask me why. I just do. I don't know. I'm not really into embarrassing people or humiliating them,
the
even when they're into embarrassing and humiliating me.
thing is, whenever you did that, did I text you and say, good job, buddy? Or
No.
did I say, what the fuck? You know?
You were like, Benny, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yes.
no, I don't agree. I don't agree with doxing. I don't like doxing.
Listen, I'm praying for Tiffany and her son. I'm trying to get a different light on me so you guys can see me. Because this is ridiculous. But apparently I can only get green. That fucking hurts. It ain't working. And I just blinded myself. Here we go. Tiffany also has a habit of being cruel. So do I. We all do as YouTubers. But Penny was going around doxing not only Tiffany, but many others in the Beach Creek area. If you remember correctly, Penny came out stating that her grandmother lived in the area and she was familiar with the area. Penny has ties to that area. She also has ties to military, which would give her governmental ties, which could tie her to knowing Durant. But it's curious to me how close she was with Durant, because the things that Tiffany's saying is true. She was definitely pushing towards Durant. In my opinion, Jody told me that it was Penny with Linda as boots on the ground at the airport when Dawn and Candace was leaving for Dr. Phil. And there were pictures of the cars being taken. Benny definitely got involved in some shit with Penny. I don't know what it was, but Penny definitely had. And that's in is it the Tim Mullen or the Candace call? I could go look for it in a few minutes, but you can hear them arguing about the PIs. Penny didn't want to talk to the PIs. There was a fight between the PIs and Penny. You know, that's all extremely curious stuff. Why does Penny have such a problem with the bigger people in Summer's case, and how does she get so intertwined with Linda? And Prime Suspect, you have been in my comments leaving nasty shit, defending Linda to a T, which is fine if that's your buddy, but obviously you know her. So why don't you grab a link? This is for somebody named Prime Suspect. You're welcome to come on my panel. You have to show your face. And you're welcome to dispute anything I'm saying. But if you listen to yesterday's live and the day earlier in the day or the day before, I go over the voice of Hurricane Camille and Linda. There's just a lot of explaining, and Tiffany might get back to that. I haven't watched this whole live. I'm going to come down and we could just listen to whatever Benny's going to say. I'll pop up if I think it's of any importance, but I think this live is extremely important. And I think Penny played a lot of games. Penny, you're also welcome to grab a live. You and I had a short, you wrote me a book conversation in Messenger once. I would like you to elaborate on that conversation. I can't get into my Facebook to read it. However, you did say some interesting things where everything was wrong. You really didn't want me looking into shit. You know, you came out here with the Linda shit. You were involved in every single aspect. And then you have Chasing Truth, who's just following you around. And Jody's right about her, because she was very intertwined in other cases and with bigger channels. Do you remember at the beginning of Summer's case where Chasing was extremely upset at everybody, and then she ran to Gray Hughes? It was over the Chase shit. And she wanted Gray to support her and back her, and then they started a channel together. I should probably go look into some of that stuff. There's a lot of history in Summer's case coming up on 4 years. I know people say it's histrionic to keep going back, but, you know, 90% of cases where there is a stranger abduction, the abductor, by statistics, will insert themselves into the case. Hi, Helen. And with Summer's case getting such big views on YouTube and becoming so big on YouTube, I believe that it's very possible whoever's responsible for Summer may have inserted themselves right here on YouTube. I think it's many someone's trying to cover up for a someone. I think it's a ring. I've gotten attacked on Evil Abes for saying that. But you know what? True crime happens. Real crime happens. This is America. We hear about it. It's covered daily. Just yesterday, let me show you guys. I shared something in my community post. It's short. But real life things happen. It's not fake. There's a real missing child.
Breaking news right now. A man claims he was tortured and held hostage inside a pricey brownstone of a cryptocurrency entrepreneur in Soho. And good evening to you. At 6 o'clock, I'm Liz Cho.
And I'm Bill Ritter. We're going to begin with that breaking news. The NYPD tonight questioning that cryptocurrency entrepreneur about what happened in his $75,000 a month apartment. A man from Italy claims he was tied up and tortured for 2 weeks by the entrepreneur.
He says he managed to escape. And tonight we are learning new information about what happened and what police say. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger is live in Soho with the breaking news. Josh.
Liz, you don't hear something like this every day, and every new detail we hear is more disturbing than the one before. In the brownstone behind me, cops say they've uncovered a sadistic torture ring led by a group of crypto bros who sources say tied up their victim, tortured him with electrical current, pistol whipped him, and then fired up a chainsaw and threatened to cut off his limbs, all to have access to his fortune in cryptocurrency. At an opulent brownstone on Prince Street, a most unusual sight. Police emerged with a handcuffed man in a bathrobe who stood in the rain barefoot as they patted him down and tried to make sense of a depraved story they'd heard from another man who claimed he'd been held against his will here for weeks.
I mean, everything else happens, but that one is a new one, and no, that's just insane.
This morning, a 28-year-old man from Italy approached a traffic agent and said he'd escaped captivity at 38 Prince Street, having been held hostage and beaten. Police quickly moved in.
I saw like a sort of SWAT team going with the shields. And then shortly after that, I saw a guy in a white robe and handcuffs come out.
The guy comes out in a white bathrobe, barefoot, hands cuffed behind his back, got into a police car. He didn't look concerned, you know. He didn't look worried or anything like that.
The man in the bathrobe was, according to cops, a cryptocurrency entrepreneur who rents the home. Police say he'd had a business dispute with the victim who'd moved to his native Italy after a falling out months ago. But he returned May 6th, and that's when police say the home's occupant and another person effectively took the victim hostage and tortured him, tying him up, beating him, even throwing him through furniture. Police say the victim has traumatic injuries consistent with having been beaten. Inside the house, they say they found multiple Polaroid pictures of him being tied up and tortured, along with multiple torture items in view. They also found a gun. The house, all 8 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms, sits set back from the sidewalk on this busy block in Soho. It was rented just a couple of months ago. Its most recent listing price, $75,000 per month. Sidewalk vendor Kieran Tully has been watching that house for months and says something's been off. He just never knew what.
I've seen people go in and out all the time and never really ever saw the same person twice. So we were wondering what was going on in there.
Well, something apparently was. We are blurring the suspect's picture in that video because police have not formally charged him or named him publicly, but he's being questioned right now at the NYPD's 5th precinct. They're also seeking at least one other person they say was involved in this depravity. As for the victim, sources say he chose today to stage his escape because his tormentors told him they would kill him today. Right now, he's being treated at Bellevue Hospital. We're live in Soho tonight. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
What a bizarre story, Josh.
My point of that was it doesn't connect to summer that I know of.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being with me on this Friday.
However, it's real crime that happens in America. Every day the news reports real crime. Summer's Amber Alert is not fake. It's not something the TBI made up. There's a reason Summer went missing. There's a reason they haven't arrested Dawn and Candace, in my opinion. We're going on 4 years. They're not purposefully going to wait 4 years to arrest the parents if they knew of some guilt. However, evidence of YouTube, in my opinion, shows that a lot of people like Penny and Linda, aka Hurricane Camille, maybe even Benny and Tiffany, maybe even myself unsubconsciously, because I didn't know that I have family connections directly to Light Hauler and Ben Hill Road. I didn't know Linda was going to silence me because I was covering what everybody else was covering. I didn't know Chicken on a Stick was going to do the same. I had no clue. But because of the games they've played with me, and maybe I do make it all about me, but I'm pissed. I want revenge. However, I want it legally. I think the sweetest revenge we could get is answers for Summer and answers for why so many people played fuck shit games in Summer's case. To the point that they would even bring it to here in my city, Carrick, Pittsburgh, and cause harm to me just for covering a child's case, a missing child. Hey, Isabella. Hiding in plain sight. Yes, Helen. That's what I believe. People aren't shit anymore. I believe a lot of people are shit. I have an opinion that many people that played games in Summer's case ain't nothing but smelly, big pal poo of flying, swirling flies all around it, stinky, crappy, dirty shit. Sorry. Stinking hot in Texas today. It's chilly here. It's 61 here. I have a sweater. I've been wearing it and I can't find it. I think I threw it in the washer. I have to go look, but I thought I had it on late last night. Imagine this, not late, but before bed. Imagine the stuff they don't report. Exactly. Imagine the things that aren't caught. You know, part of our problem in America today is the epidemic that people think went away due to drugs. But do you know how many parents are out there leaving their children home alone so that they can go get their fix? Do you know how many lives are being destroyed right now as we sit here and talk all over, not just America, but the world, of crimes people don't even know about that ain't never been caught? 91. Oh, God, I'd die. That's too hot. Is it humid? You said you're in Texas. It's, you know what? I was in Texas when it was in the 90s once. It wasn't too bad. We survived. It was hot, though. You don't get all the... We get a lot of humidity here on our hottest days. Yeah, it is a small world, poison ivy. This case online is not what is really going on with law enforcement, in my honest opinion. No, law enforcement's not going to come out here and tell you what they know because that would hinder their own case. We do enough of that for them. They don't need us doing that no more. Where did Friggy and PG go? Yeah, it is strange, huh? I hope to hell, Isabella. Allegedly, Ziggy got a real job. Holy shit. You don't think she'd be posting about it? She might have, but I still say they're in trouble and not allowed to be on here. That's my opinion. I've heard a few other rumors, though. Really? One of her mods said they were breaking up. Oh, that doesn't surprise me. She can't be live to showcase them no more. TBI warned us in the beginning that people online was taking advantage of people. Yes, and they did. And they also talked about YouTubers hindering the case. And maybe he didn't mean to. I don't know. But Chris McDonough putting out all the information he did, going directly after people who were with Candace the day Summer went missing and muddying testimony for court. That's a problem, in my opinion. And Chris McDonough knows that because he is an officer of the law, a retired officer of the law. Regardless, police officers make mistakes, maybe not meaning to. You know, everybody keeps showcasing that other case that he was involved in. I don't look at that. I look at what he did in the cases he's covering on YouTube. The Brian Koberger case with the glove. I don't trust Chris McDonough. I think he's out here for money, and I'm allowed that opinion. It is my opinion and my opinion only. If anybody else wants to jump on board, fine. If you don't, fine. Don't attack me. We're allowed to have separate opinions, but I don't think Chris did Summer's case any justice. However, he did help Monkey's case, which is why it's so confusing. People make mistakes, but is Chris really only in it for the money? It bothers me what he did in Summer's case. McDouche. Yeah. All right. But I'm sitting here talking, yapping. Let me put this video on. I'm going to come down. I'm going to drink my coffee, smoke my bowl, and let you guys listen for at least 10 minutes before I start yapping again, unless something really good comes on and I have to jump up.
I think that it's awful.
Oh, no. She agrees with it. She likes it. Where did Penny come from? Facebook? T-Bory, that's where she first ever found me. She came to me as Latasha Enoch. Then she changed it to Nicole Eno. Here she's been True Crime Commentary. Penny, for your thoughts. Bizzle, I mean, all the names. She doesn't keep the same name very often. And she should have no problem with me putting out any kind of information about her. I mean, she's been fucking with me for I don't even know how long, putting my information all over the place. In fact, she's even zooming in on my body parts and making sock accounts of them and sticking close-ups of my stretch pants all over the place. So Penny, eat a dick, bitch. Eat a dick. And go cry about me sticking your old phone number in a chat. No one gives a fuck. Okay? No one. No one. You'll never look like me, Penny, ever. So keep staring at my crotch. Okay? Okay.
I think that when people go real life, it's the most horrible thing to do.
I'll tell you this, Penny, when they were all like going to gang up on Penny, Penny was like, "Here, Benny, do you want to dox me?" She gave me all her info, and I was like, "No, Penny, you don't have to do all that." So is that not the truth too, Penny?
That is the truth, because the fake email that was going around under, like, somebody made a fake email that to try to make it look like it was coming from Scott to send it.
I'm not messing with Tiffany. I've been asking every day for prayers for Tiffany, and I agree with Tiffany Poison Ivy. It still doesn't make me not feel the way I feel about some of the shit Tiffany's done to me. Or the fact that her and Benny got so close. I mean, her son being sick doesn't change the facts. However, I have respect for Tiffany, and I don't think that Tiffany, in my opinion, I feel like Tiffany might have found something out. And I definitely am praying for her child. I want you to remember I'm the mother of a 2-time heart transplant recipient, and I know what it's like to go in and out of the hospital with your baby, even as an adult. And I would ask every day that you pray for Tiffany's child. And I'm definitely not attacking Tiffany, but I do have my issues with Tiffany. That doesn't change. But I care deeply that we're all out here trying to get answers for Summer. And I started my YouTube getting really into it, watching Tiffany and supporting Tiffany. And I believe that she did try her hardest at the beginning to do what was best for Summer. I don't know what to make of all the games people played. For me, it feels like certain players infiltrated certain creators. However, you have other creators playing games in stock market shit that I believe connects to my father's businesses. So Tiffany was very big into cahoots with AB, and I would love to sit and question Tiffany more about that and have a decent conversation with her. But every time I talk to her, it's just a screaming battle. There's no adult conversation. It's who could be better than who. It kept cutting caps. And for me, that's why I block her often. That's why she blocks me. Yes, please pray for Tiffany and David. My son had a heart issue too. Yeah, it's hard. Like, I spent a majority of my son's life living in hospitals, so I know what it's like. And even when your babies are adults, it hurts. And that's Tiffany's only baby. So I could never. And, even though Tiffany and I have problems, Tiffany still shared when my shit was going on with my 2 sisters. She put information out there. That's why I sort of, in a way, respect Tiffany, because when something bad happens, she does pull together and she doesn't attack at the moments. And I would hope that I'm doing the same. I'm not trying to attack Tiffany at all here. I'm just trying to go over the fuck shit that Penny and Linda, possibly Benny, played in Summer's case. I wish some of these people would come public. I know Tiffany can at the moment. I get it. But there's no reason for Penny to hide her content if she's on the up and up. And she needs to put it back out. They all do. Why aren't they? If so many people are saying so many things about you, why don't you clear it up by putting your content out and proving it different? That's what I don't understand. The whole Linda thing and the pounding of lawsuits after me. Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of answers. That's a promise. Told you I ain't going nowhere. Okay. I hope you understand, Poison Ivy. Yeah. How did my dad get so tied up? So I've explained this. My dad has always been a loose cannon his whole life. He was the teenager that stole cars, gave his parents a lot of freaking grief. He met my mom. My mom was 14 or 15. They got pregnant with me. My mother just turned 16 when she had me. My father started, I think he was driving for a company. I was a baby. I don't know the whole story. But there was an accident where PennDOT here in Pittsburgh hit him, and he won a lawsuit. In that lawsuit, it was almost, I heard, almost $1 million. I don't know an exact figure. But his friend Guy, who I've talked about many times, he was the one that is labeled on my father's companies that still have active cage codes. But he rented my father, or gave my father, a home for us to live in down in Surfside, Miami, 2 blocks away from where those buildings fell. And if you know that area back in the 1980s, it was very filled with cartel activity. I don't know that it continues today, but I think my father continued what he did back then, which I remember well because it was my life and I lived it and I was abused over it. And I watched my father do things that he shouldn't have been doing. I was a little kid. I was 7 years old. My father would drive a red taxi with one of his friends, or without the friend, he would take it, or him and his friend would switch. I want to say the guy's name was Roberto. I can't remember the guy's name. He was younger than my dad, and they were running prostitutes all over Miami. And my sister and I would be in the car, and my father got pulled over one time. While doing it, we got to watch the women have sex. My father got pulled over one time, and he started locking me and my sister in a bedroom. And then we got into baby powder and spilled it everywhere and was playing ice skate all freaking day. My sister's 4 years younger than me. Mind you, I was 7. So she was 2, 3. And he came home and he beat the fuck out of me. And then from that day forward, for months, he would lock us in a closet. And he would go continue his business. There was a time he had a flan company, which was usually a cover at boat shows back in those days for selling illegal substances. And he did that with people that we knew. I'm not going to say who because it's dangerous to talk about a lot of it. But my father had made these connections down in Miami, and I've recently found that some of those connections have moved up here to Pittsburgh. One of them's a groomer. Interesting, because my sister's a groomer. It's just a whole lot, and it's dangerous to put out, and I really don't like talking about all of the connections. That's why I ask other people to go make the connections for me and put it out, because I don't want to die. When I was 14 years old, I had gone to visit my father in Miami. I didn't go to visit. I went to live with him. I ran away. My mother had broken all my cassette tapes. I've always been a big music buff. I love music. It's gotten me through very hard times in life, because when we were in Miami, my father kicked me, my sister, and my mother out after beating the fuck out of my mother. And we were homeless on the beach not long, 3-4 days. Sleeping at bus stops, sleeping at the beach. We finally made it back to Pittsburgh. This is a true story, guys. This is my life. This is how I grew up. My father had $1 million and he let us move to the hood. We moved down up here to Pittsburgh to McKeesport. What the fuck is going to be 4 years? I know, it's sad, Isabella. Music gets you through so many bad things. But anyway, so we moved back up here to McKeesport, Pennsylvania, where my aunt was living. She has recently passed away in the last few years. All my aunts have, and my mother. And she didn't like my mom because my mom drank a lot. So we moved into an abandoned house with no utilities. And we lived there for a couple months. My mom finally begged my father to come back up here to Glassport, Pennsylvania, where my grandmother, Betty Hockenberry, lived. She was married to a Bergman. My father bought us a house. He tried to move back up here with us. Got abusive, beat the shit out of my mom. Threw a fish aquarium through the window. Beat me. Shannon never got beat. I always got beat. He gets kicked out, but apparently he kept business in Glassport with the people connected to We Can Bring You Hope, apparently, is what I'm running into. And now I come to YouTube, and because it all connects to me, things I didn't know, because I moved away from my family after my brother essayed my children. He was 10 years old, and it came out that my brother was also essayed. So instead of pressing, like my mom had 3 more kids after my father to 3 different men back to back when I was a teenager. And my sister Shannon and myself, we were responsible for raising them kids. And the neighborhood was responsible for raising us, in my opinion. Glassport raised me and my sister. They kept us in food. My mom would leave all the fucking time. There were days in the middle of the winter, snowstorms, my sister and I would be stuck on the porch, not able to get in after school, and we'd have to sit till the middle of the night. Like, I had a bad childhood, and my father was not a good person, and my mother was an alcoholic and a drug addict. And because of her shit, my brother went on to commit more crimes. When he was 14, 15 years old, he murdered my step cousin, not knowing it was my step cousin. I stuck up for my brother initially, even though I wasn't talking to my family, because previously my brother did what he did to my children. It's just such a long story. My family is riddled with people who have been involved in crime my whole life. But you asked, so I'm giving it to you the best I can. Was my father a gambler? Yeah. I can't really talk about that. I wouldn't say he was a gambler, but he had involvement in poker machines when they were illegal here in Pittsburgh. A couple members of my family did. And that's like stuff I don't want to talk about on here because of the connections. Like, that shit gets scary. Yeah, Isabella, I had a rough life. And then I grow up and I get older and I marry my first husband. And I think we're going to be okay. Although he was a troublemaker and I knew it. I should have known better, but I didn't, because I went through a lot as a kid. I've had my own essays. I've been assaulted by many at many points in my life. And these are the things that I want to come to YouTube and talk about. However, I'm silenced about them. And it's because of the case that I came to, and that I do have connections down to Tennessee. Now, do I know that my family absolutely did anything to Summer? No. But I could tell you who the hell my family is and how it could be possible. I could turn that into LE, which I have. Yesterday, we forgot to go over the new, and I'm not going to do it today because I have a long live planned and I'm already almost an hour in just chit-chatting. Yeah, a lot of gamblers beat their wives. Well, you see, when my father was in his, Teresa, when my father was in his accident, something very bad happened to his brain. It was the left front lobal, I don't know what it was, but it caused him to have what you would think was like a Tourette's type syndrome, and you couldn't speak to him. And it made our relationship extremely hard, even though I tried and I loved him and I felt bad for him, but I had no clue that he was doing the things he did. Now, did I think that some of the places he was living and the properties he was buying was weird? Yeah. Do I think it was weird that him and my mom started talking again after decades and I'm a grown woman and my children are even grown? Fuck yeah. But my mother wanted my brother out of prison in the worst way. She found out she had cancer and she felt it was her fault, in my opinion. But then you have neighbors that moved in that are on YouTube here playing fuck shit games, and I bust them with Tragedy Pimps Exposed and Six Up Media and Karen Elliott, who again would connect to me through my Aunt Rosemary, Karen. They don't come in here and deny it. That's where the connection is, I found. And then Ziggy possibly laundering money from my father's businesses that are still running after his death, and I didn't even know they were up and going, period. He talked about them. I thought they crashed years ago because my dad was fucking insane and an abuser. I didn't like him. And then you got my brother, my ex-brother-in-law in here playing games after he's done many bad things to my sister. And my sister's lost. My Facebook is gone. I'm not exactly sure why. I have a couple reasons why it might be gone. But I can't even get in touch with my sister now, so now she's missing. I don't even know that my sister's safe. She's homeless in Iowa somewhere. I'm not okay with what's going on. And I'm going to call it out every chance I get until there's answers because of the fuck shit games that these people played. Oh, yeah, you do got to get that shit out. But you know what, Isabella? My husband's watching. We're fighting. We've been going through hell. That's a problem I'm having with him right now. He doesn't understand the abuse I've gone through as a child. And then he goes and he works with my brother-in-law because my brother-in-law has a high standing and is sending threats to me in an attempt to silence me. I'll be quiet because the police are looking into it. I don't want no more problems, and I think you're an evil ass fucking dude. I still think you're involved in something, and I'm not going to shy away from that. However, I'm not going to say what. But you sending martial law and cops and shit to my house and DHS every day, causing fist fights between me and my daughter-in-law, putting my husband in the middle of it, that shit's going to stop. I'm pressing charges. Earl is too. We're going down to the DA the first chance we get. He has 4 days coming up off. I'm hoping we can do it Tuesday after Memorial Day. He took some days off for my birthday, which is coming up on Wednesday. I might have a birthday party on here with you guys. Woo woo. But all the games with you motherfuckers up here, they're done. Iowa, McKeesport, Glassport. I hope you know the police are looking into you. I have turned you into every entity I possibly can. I'm supposed to, by Tuesday, send the screenshots to the DOJ, the people who are in charge of my ex-brother-in-law, of you and your part-time girlfriend's threats to me. They're waiting for them. I'm sending them. I got to get the ones off my husband's phone. The games are done. And we're going to start with Penny, because I don't know where Penny came from or why. And I find it odd that she has removed every ounce of her content. Put it the fuck back up. Yes, I've had counseling. However, I think I could use some more. And right now, my husband and I, because of all the shit that has gone on YouTube, that's part of us getting back together, is we are going to do counseling first. We're looking into some online counseling because neither of our insurance will cover it. So we're going to pay for it. But that's part of what's going on in my life right now. I'm very aware, and I don't have a problem with getting help for mental health. However, I'm not going to be lied about and told I'm crazy, because I'm not. I know where my family connects. He's got to start understanding, otherwise your marriage is right. That's what I'm saying, Isabella. And I want to work it out with my husband. We've been married for 21 years, and we both made very, very huge mistakes in our marriage. Me recently. But it's all a result of what's going on here on YouTube. It's a lot of provoking from a lot of people, causing a lot of problems with a lot of fake fucking lawsuits. My house, I believe, has been broken into. I've been harassed by my local police. That's odd. All because I'm starting to turn shit in. I just had a conversation with my mama and sibling about my abuse, but I approached my mama. Yeah. And you know what? Here's another thing too. Childhood trauma always sticks with you. There were many occasions my mother was abused. One, there was a really, really bad occasion, and it wasn't by my father. It was by another man. We ended up going to court. My mother almost died. She spent 4 months in a hospital. I was stuck raising my then newborn sister, Sarah, who's had a fucked up life from birth. And now her kids have been offended. Like, life has been hard, but you never get over those traumas. Those traumas stick with you. And when I was a kid, I had lots of therapy for the traumas, but I was also stuffed with pills that made me sick. I took something called Silert, and I was allergic to it. It made my tongue swell. So then my mom never put me on anything else. I was kicked out of school, even in elementary school, because of the home life I had. I acted out. I was kicked out of high school twice in 1 year. I fought a lot of people. I was a fuck up when I was a kid. However, when my son got sick, I grew up and I tried to do better, and I wanted to do better for the world and not be like my family. So that's why I moved to a different part of the city and kind of sheltered in place. That's why I started my YouTube. I wanted to talk about these things so people could get over them. Because I do, like, I'm fine coming out here and talking to you guys, but in real life, I have a hard time making friends, being friends with people, trusting people. With you guys, I don't know you personally. At least I thought. So it's easier to speak to you. It's hard when your family don't listen or don't want to believe you. I don't know. I was told I should have told so it could have been stopped. Yeah. Most of my assaults happened when I was a teenager because I was a runaway. My assaults didn't come from home, I don't think. My mother said my father touched me and my sister. She told me and my sister that, but I don't remember it. And I used to be mad at her for saying it because I didn't remember it and I thought she was a liar. But my mom used to put a lot of bad stuff in our heads so that we wouldn't talk to my grandparents or my dad's side of the family. She didn't want us anywhere near them. And ultimately, we suffered because of it. Like, our aunts hate us because my dad's fucking nuts and they don't get along with him, at least I thought. But now I'm finding out they may have known a lot more than I thought. And their fights might be fake, in my opinion. My sister is a survivor, but she told me in order to have a relationship, I cannot speak about our traumas anymore. See, that's the thing, little Deb. Families like mine will force you not to talk about it. And since my parents' deaths and all this stuff, I'm learning to be more vocal, to get it out. Since my parents have passed away and nobody really has that control to make me feel bad about myself anymore, and because I'm covering Summer's case and I never expected this and I do actually care about that child, I feel it's important that I do talk about it, and I'm not going to allow anybody in my life anymore any longer to silence anything that I've been through or the traumas I've been through. That's my life, and I'm allowed to speak on them and get it out and heal from it no matter what platform, therapy, husband, friend, no matter what way I get it out, as long as it helps me heal after all these years, I think it's important that I do so. And I don't think that people should allow their families to silence them about their feelings, because it doesn't help and it causes a lot of trauma in the end. Little Dev. Yeah, that's sad, Isabella. Oh, are you willing to accept all these connections you think are real or not? Cursed, I think I'm willing to accept that the We Can Bring You Hope people 100% played fuck shit in Summer's case, and that they 100% connect to the little small shit town that I was raised in. Yes, so that I'm willing to accept. I've turned the other things in, but it has to be the police that accept the rest of it. I'm not going to come out here and put myself in danger. I give you as much as I can, what I think could possibly connect, but I'm not going to put my family in danger. I'm missing teeth. I've had a black eye. My marriage is fucked up. I just want to come out here and keep Summer's face out here and be as honest as I possibly can with you guys. And I'm not going to allow anybody to bully me to accept anything, because the only people that can actually accept those things are law enforcement. They hold the badge. They have to do the investigation. I think it is a very high probability that many people from up here and all across the United States connect to why Summer White went missing. But can I say for certain? No. Because I'm not a cop. I don't have that badge and I don't hold that status, and I'm not going to come to YouTube and pretend that's what I am. My name ain't Blowhorn Betty, and I don't hold a press badge. I'm just out here to talk about things that happened in my life in true crime. Summer happens to be the case I got stuck on, and I'm not going anywhere till it's finished because of the games that people played with me. I apologize for my snarky comment, but that's truly how I feel about it. I'm sorry if anybody has a problem with it. My dad was connected to very bad people, and I'm not going to put my life in danger. My dad already put a hit on me once when I was 14. That's what I was getting ready to say once before, because of his bitch fucking ex-wife that fucking lied. He came in, he took a fucking big pound, she took a big pound of weed, flushed it down the toilet, threw his wedding ring down the fucking toilet because she didn't like me. And she was pregnant with my sister Jennifer. My dad threw somebody's calling card at me. It was a Bell Atlantic calling card. It was a card that you use that used to pay for the payphone calls. It was like a prepaid card so that you can make payphone calls. It was a dead member of the cartel's card that he threw at me. It put a hit on my life. The FBI had to come save me. It's documented. They had to come get me and bring me back to Pittsburgh because I ran away from home when my mom broke 100 of my cassette tapes, a big collection I had. Because I was hanging with a girl named Laura that my mom didn't like, and my mother witnessed her stepfather's murder. So my mom didn't want me around her. So I ran away to Miami. When you marry into a dysfunctional family, the kids wind up married into bad families. They do. That's true. It's a pattern. It's generational. Yep, little Deb, I think that's what brought me to Summer's case too. Would I expect the things that are going on today? Absolutely not. Jesus, guys, I just spent over an hour talking to you guys and not playing my content. I like that. It's like my own content. I'm getting it out. However, we do got to get through this. So, because I have another live I'm going to share with stupid ass lips and Andrew. And I don't know why Dippy Escapes is attacking me, but we'll go over it because they know all the things. Okay. Let's get through this. I am going to come down this time for real, and just let you guys listen. I'm going to go heat up my coffee and step away. Seriously, smoke a cigarette and just let you guys alone to listen to the fuck shit games that were played in this. I want to see your responses in my comment section because it gives me content later to go through and search for things. And then I'm not just sharing everybody's content all the time because deep down I hate doing this. But I do it because I feel it's important. All right.
It to you so you can talk to me. And I called you and I was like, I just want to let you know this is what's about to happen. Somebody is setting Scott up to look like he's sending you information. It is my real information, but I wanted to let you know because the email also said that I was working with police to get your channel down or something, which is also not true.
It was crazy. And that's really that's like the only situation or interaction that Penny and I have had was like during that. And then she's asked me a couple of questions that really weren't even related to any of this jazz going on right now. So no, I mean, Penny hasn't been a resource for me, and I haven't been a resource for Penny. We're just colleagues that occasionally talk. That's it. And when I mean occasionally, like 4 times maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And I know that a lot of his people don't like me, and I know that a lot of my people don't like you. But I mean, you know, if you wanted to put those texts out there, and then I put my text out there, and they both look the same, then
yeah. No, it's and you know what? She's never bashed Brad to me or any of that jazz. Like, you know, there's been no secret agency or any of that. Like, you know, like Penny's just a cool chick, and she wants the same thing that we all want, and that's summer home and of course understanding on other things. And you know, I don't have a bad word to say about Penny. You know, anything that Penny and I disagree about, we disagree privately about it, and that's cool.
So, Penny, whenever the first time do you remember whenever I popped up in your chat for the first time, what the conversation and topic was?
Penny does not want Summer home. Summer is worth more to Penny, lost or dead. And that is the truth through and through. Don't ever fool yourself. She does not want Summer found, ever. Who's she going to grip off next? What's Penny going to do when they really do find Summer? I'll probably still be here putting out the truth about Penny. That's how grimy she is.
I don't remember what it was. Could you refresh me?
You were talking about, I think, Andy Bernard's criminal record, and people were in your chat bashing Jody Sue. And at that point in time, I was still very much invested in helping her. And I popped in and I said, this isn't true. This isn't true. If you
He doesn't remember what she's talking about. He's just going along with it.
Want to know real information, please get with me. You said, cool, I'll get with Pace. I'll get with you. That's the night that Chase's dad went to the hospital, allegedly.
Right.
And then, and I said, I do not want to talk to Benny by myself because of all the things that I've heard about you. And I said, never mind, I'm just not going to do it. So, but before I decided, never mind, I'm not going to do it, I had already sent out an email to AB saying, look, I know how you feel about Benny, but he's going after him and Squall are going after Jody Sue, and Jody Sue thinks that Squall's trying to set her up. So I'm going to extend an olive branch and talk to him. And that's what, and then I also sent that to Chasing Justice because I know she doesn't like you either, but I have respect for Chasing Justice. So I just reached out to her. Look, I know you hate Benny, but I feel like they're trying to set Jody Sue up.
No. Chasing Justice loved Benny. She just wanted him to acknowledge her. Do you guys all remember when Kelly, we'll just call her Kelly. It's better that way. We just need to call everybody by their first names, their real names, you know? Kelly with an I, not a Y. She had a lawsuit with Benny. Yes, Kelly, we've been looking at all of the things that you've been posting for years. Everybody remember that lawsuit she had against him? She was going to put him in jail and all these things. Yeah, we do. No, she didn't hate him. She wanted his attention. She wanted to be noticed by him. And the second that he noticed her, she ran. Yeah, that was when he was threatening to have me raped. Yeah, a while ago. That's when she chose to go run to Benny. Long time ago. Water under the bridge, you know, all the forgiveness and stuff around here.
I'm going to be extending it all. Period. Had I talked to you before that ever?
No, never.
Never.
In fact, I was a little bit upset. I was like, whoa, like, who is this and all that? Because I get weirded out when people just, text me out of the blue and they get my number offline and all that jazz. And so, yeah, no, that's exactly what you did, 100%.
Yep. Oh, now I do know that Jody Sue was saying that there was, she heard me on the, so I've only ever talked to Jody Sue on Discord and voice chat and messages. But she said she's heard me on the phone with you prior to that, which isn't true. If she heard me on the phone with any man, it would have to be Chase or Scott.
Okay. So let's say that's true. I have no doubt Jody Sue probably did hear Penny on the phone with Chase or Scott. I would probably assume it would be Chase. Because, Penny came here with Chase, the one that said Summer was alive in Indiana. That part was also Penny's story. She told that story with Chase before I ever heard. But this is what I don't understand, okay? You've got Penny and Chase making these phone calls about Summer being alive in Indiana. Where was Penny on the call when Chase called me? Why did she sit that phone call out? He didn't have Penny on my call. It was just him, no Penny. Penny, did you make that story up about Summer being alive in Indiana? Is that where the story came from? Why do I feel like it is? Did you tell Chase that Summer was alive in Indiana? Just a hunch. I don't know.
So
No,
now, I don't know, but thanks for clearing all that up. I mean, I don't know how well it would be received or believed,
Weird, right?
being that like the entire Summer Wells community hates both you and I, well, minus a good portion that have been here from the start. But there's also speculation that's going around that I have a group of researchers that dox people. That is not true.
That is not true. I can tell you this. Anything, the way that the YouTube works is like all these people have been doxed many, many times, but in different communities. And so really it's just a matter of finding the right YouTube video that's already doxed these people like 5 years ago. Like none of this stuff is new. It's just reoccurring is all. It just recircles back and history repeats itself. And, it's an ongoing thing.
So do you remember the first time
I hope that all made sense. I don't know what just happened here. It's still playing. They went silent for a minute.
I asked you, how did you get this?
Here's my thing with Benny's role. I think Benny this is my theory, okay? Benny had played games in that case with the two boys. He was made fun of. AB and Doug already didn't like him. A lot of these people came from that case into Summer's case. And I feel like Benny was bullied in that case. So when Summer's case came, he hit hard. And he involved himself with Tim Mullen. And I believe that he thought Tim Mullen was good. And I think Tim Mullen paid him to deflect from the YouTubers that Benny was bullied by, plus others. I believe it was an attempt at silencing. And Benny was paid well for it. And then got connected with Penny and AB. And did some stock market shit. I believe that's where the money Benny got that he was going to start a new fund with came from. That's my opinion. Do I know that true? No. But then he gets into a fight with his ex-wife. He's taken off YouTube, fighting with Penny at the time. There's a fake girlfriend made up. Like, you got to put it together. Just go back and look at all of it. I don't think Benny intended on being a bad guy. I think Benny intended on being a good guy, but turned out being a bad guy because he was being a good guy for the bad people. That's my opinion. I think Tim Mullins is bad. I think he was a handler of the Wills. I think the Wills know why Summer's missing. I don't know the PI's part. I would hope they would be good. However, when you see them in videos with Twister throwing deer head skulls that could possibly be Summer's around, and I've showed that in past content, please go back and watch. That's just my theory on it. I don't think Benny meant to be a bad guy, but I think he got too involved. Anybody's welcome to come out and say truth, fact, not. It's just a theory. I'm speculating. That's what my channel's about. Everything on my channel is speculation. Please know that. I don't have a badge. Again, like I told Kirst. But let's get back to it.
And you said you paid for it. But then I also asked you, why are you doing this? And you said, I'm only doing what Chase has asked, right? Yeah. So, you felt like you needed to protect Chase, and Chase felt some type of way. Now, where did Chase get that information from? Because he told me that his lawyer has found Tiffany.
I don't know. I really don't know where it came from. I was, I hope that a lot of people understand that I just wasn't really.
Penny, remember my information came from you. Why are you so scared of me putting out yours? Shit, all I did was put an old phone number in a chat. You were running my info all over the fucking place. And shit, Benny didn't even know he was doxing me for you. You try to keep your hands clean of that too. Hey, why can't you do anything yourself? Why does everyone have to do it for you?
Hi, Susan.
And he's over here like completely clueless. Doesn't even know what she's talking about. She's talking 1,000 miles a minute. He's like, yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Penny is always on damage control. Always. We're only 14 minutes in.
For anybody bullying anybody, because I know we all we were all under the belief that Brad was doing a lot of good stuff. I haven't watched it to change the way I feel about Chase or any of that. Have I talked to Chase? No, I haven't. But it's just, it was a scenario where I didn't get involved in the money and the billboard, any of that stuff. I didn't even know what was going on about that. I was on a hold.
And I believe that. I fully believe he knew nothing about the billboard, all the Cash Apps and Venmos and all that shit. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody thinks. How could this man know anything about what was going on with this girl scamming and Chase's scamming when he was tied up with the Wells? And that's just the truth. The truth is the truth. It is what it is. She picked him because he was too busy. Period. How could he ever know the shit she was pulling? He didn't even have time to notice. There's no way. Absolutely no way. And Penny knew that. That's how she got away with so much for so long, and why everybody left her alone, because they were all afraid of Benny. You get it? Oh, Penny. You know what? We're all here. We all see you. He might not have seen, but we did. All of us. We've been watching for a long time, bitch.
Different path, and so I know that there were always.
She's so worried about my docs. Penny, I don't give a fuck. I've been doxxed for years on this platform. Everybody knows where I am. Everybody. They all know. My home number, my cell number, my email, my address, everything. Shit. These people have seen me with makeup on, no makeup on, everything. They even get a close-up of my pants now because of you. Don't you dare sit and cry over a fucking phone number. Don't do it. You're gonna look stupid as fuck. And like a weak-ass pussy bitch. Because you are. You go crying now. Get a hold of yourself. Or you could just hold your own cheeks.
Things that you felt like you could
Choice
do
is yours.
to protect, the guy. That's not an excuse. It's hopefully maybe an explanation, but.
And Penny, why didn't you just dox me yourself? Why did you need Benny to do it? You needed Chase to send the info to Benny and have him do it. Why not you just do it? You cannot fight a woman one-on-one? You gotta have a man do it for you.
That's it,
Yeah. Now, whenever I do question now if there was ever a lawyer, I would have to say right now I don't believe there was. I do know where the real name came from, and I do know that there was a recommendation that they wanted to speak to Chase's lawyer.
And you know that I also did pay for it.
Oh, you said you did pay for it?
Hold on. I saw a comment, and I hope it's right here and it's not glitching. Hold on. Lana K says, LOL, the peacemaker, repairer of all the relationships out of her pure heart. Oh, Penny. You know what? We're all here. We all see you. He might not have seen, but we did. All of us. We've been watching for a long time, bitch.
Different path. And so I know that there were always.
She's so worried about my docs. Penny, I don't give a fuck. I've been doxxed for years on this platform. Everybody knows where I am. Everybody. They all know. My home number, my cell number, my email, my address, everything. Shit. These people have seen me with makeup on, no makeup on, everything. They even get a close-up of my pants now because of you. Don't you dare sit and cry over a fucking phone number. Don't do it. You're gonna look stupid as fuck. And like a weak-ass pussy bitch. Because you are. You go crying now. Get a hold of yourself. Or you could just hold your own cheeks.
Things that you felt like you
Choice
could do
is yours.
to protect, the guy. That's not an excuse. It's hopefully maybe an explanation, but.
And Penny, why didn't you just dox me yourself? Why did you need Benny to do it? You needed Chase to send the info to Benny and have him do it. Why not you just do it? You cannot fight a woman one-on-one? You gotta have a man do it for you.
That's it,
Yeah. Now, whenever I do question now if there was ever a lawyer, I would have to say right now I don't believe there was. I do know where the real name came from, and I do know that there was a recommendation that they wanted to speak to Chase's lawyer.
And you know that I also did pay for it.
Oh, you said you did pay for it?
Hold on. I saw.
Okay, were they talking about somebody else's lawyer or Chase's lawyer? Whose fucking lawyer did Benny pay for? What? Huh? Okay, I may have to look more into that. That's an odd statement. You paid for it. When was this live? January 25th. When did Benny meet with Chase at the Mexican restaurant? I'm going to have to go back and look at that date. Wow. What a statement, Benny. Whose lawyer are you paying for? We're going to continue that. Holy shit. Shit people miss. Penny, put your fucking content back out.
A comment, and I hope it's right here and it's not glitching. Hold on. Lana K says, LOL, the peacemaker, repairer of all the relationships out of her pure heart. Listen. Yeah, Penny only wants peace. She's the peacemaker. She's like, I keep peace everywhere. I just want peace. No talking any shit in the chat. No bullshit in the chat. We only care about Summer. I do all my fuck shit behind the scenes. I don't ever sleep. That's Penny. While committing crimes on the internet. Or Latasha, whatever you want to call her. Penny, True. I mean, shit, she tried to even name herself like Hunter's sister. See, Jinx, every now and again, I like to get my hands dirty. No one can keep their hands clean all the time, right? I don't mind. I don't mind getting a little dirty here and there. All right. Yeah, Penny the Peacemaker. She's so Switzerland, isn't she? Who's she going to make money off of next? I bet that opportunity will probably never come again. Hope you have saved up that money, Penny. I bet you it's tripling right now. Is she watching the money triple in front of her eyes? Probably. And that's the saddest part of it all, really. I heard Benny wants his $600, Penny. I mean, you would think out of what, 30 grand in a year, you'd have $600 for this man, for his lawyer fees and shit. No? I don't know. Or are you broke too? Highly doubtful.
Oh, I thought you said you paid for it.
I did.
But remember, I said, can I screenshot this? And then I sent that straight to Tiffany because she was like really off the rails accusing me. So what I did was I asked you and I said, can I screenshot this? And you were like, yes, you can. Fuck that bitch. And then
that was just, that I didn't pay for it. It was given to me. And that was the gist of it. I just said that I paid for it in order to kind of, I thought maybe erase the trail or whatever. Like it was just, and I'm not even a good liar. So, you know what I mean? It was just one of them things, I'm a terrible liar, in fact. So it was what it was,
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I do feel sick about the whole chasing after hearing what his wife had to say or his ex-wife had to say last night. I don't know if you watched that, but
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. But
what did she say?
Oh, this is just what he does. Basically, that this is what he does. That he's faked other illnesses and other people having illnesses, and just this is not out of his normal. And she's not surprised, but that's basically what she was saying. So I'm just like, oh my god, you feel sick about it, but I feel like such a dummy. And I will say, Jody Sue was right, Scott was right, Tiffany was right, AB was right about Chase. And I'm not going to say that they're right about everything that they did to Q about the whole marathon thing, but as far as Chase is concerned, absolutely. Absolutely.
In terms of being right, I think they were just accidentally right because they feel the same way about everyone, and there is wrong. They're wrong more times than they're right. So it feels like to me one of those situations that they were just maybe right about Brad instead of being wrong, right? I mean, they'd always ride the fence one way about everybody. So it just so happened that he may have been wrong and it lined up with how they felt about it initially. But we've seen all these people go back and forth. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is, I just don't get involved in the back and forth. And more than anything, you have to believe. If you believe, and I know Penny does, right? But you have to believe that if they send young American boys and girls across the ocean to fight for freedom, that they're also fighting for justice. When we fight for justice, that's innocence before guilt every single time. It's not just when we think things look a certain way. We can't, as Americans and as the general citizenry, we can't pass judgment. It's not even godly to pass judgment first, but you can't even think a certain way until after a court and a judge has slammed a gavel and they have rendered an opinion, a conviction or an acquittal. Until you can start looking into the future, you have to be wrong on the side of law enforcement. If law enforcement is delayed in bringing charges, well, then you're delayed in bringing charges because it's not about supporting this person or supporting that person. The ultimate thing you're trying to protect is the ideal of due process. And let me tell you what, a lot of people don't want to hear this, but it's the way lawmakers think and politicians, is that it's not even about Summer. It's about protecting the consistent, clean judicial system, right? We want when we bring a conviction and we bring charges, we want them to stick and we want that to be clean. We don't want any mistrials and anybody coming home on no crazy appeals. Like, we want it to stick. And the way that you make it stick is you're always for justice and everything else second.
Yeah. But a lot of people, that's logical and that's exactly right. But the thing I think a lot of people have to take issue with you is the way you go about standing up for that. It kind of contradicts the character that you're representing or trying to.
you know, I think that there's some people that very well could look at it that way, but when you look at the scenario, and I think everyone judges, you know, that they're cumulatively judging me on coming down the hill. Well, you have to imagine everyone on top of that hill had watched themselves be stalked from other states by people that are, you know, you've seen the gamut of things that have come up. You know, people that have racial connections and sex trade connections, and you know they're coming to do no good. And so, you know, they make this pilgrimage to the property, and you know, was it my most graceful moment or hour? No. And I guess, unfortunately, it rendered the correct solution. So in someone's mind that isn't with the growth, you could say, oh, well, I'll do it that same way next time too, and it'll be okay. And I wouldn't do it the same way next time. But it was a scenario. I had been tired of being stopped.
I guess for me, it's like, but it's also like how other creators, it's like, you know, you want good and you want people to be good, but you know, you put Tiffany's information out there. It's kind of like, damn, bro, like what? Why?
And I guess the way you justify that is I got tired, like about the 70th or 80th time I saw my information in her chat. I was kind of over it. I was like, okay, well, this was before I knew anything about her or, you know, nothing. And you go over there, and maybe that's my naiveness about YouTube, but it's like, if I go over there and I see in my chat, like my address and my telephone number and, you know, my folks number, like if I see that in Tiffany Marie's chat, well, then guess what? She could get the business. Like, I hate that for her. But it's like, it is what it is, right? I've got people that got my information. Like, how do you think White Boy Radio Lockdown got my information? I don't know, probably through Molly Go Lightly's homegirl, Tiffany Marie. You start looking at it all that way, and it's like, man, I'm not worried about none of that. Is doxing cool? Probably not. But when you are a public figure and you're out here allowing other people to do the same business that you say you don't like, that's when you become a hypocrite, right? I don't tell nobody else not to dox nobody. If you feel like you're being stalked and they're putting your information online and doxing it stops them, do what you got to do, right? But like, my folks don't have nothing. Tiffany Marie has something to do with YouTube. My folks don't have nothing to do with YouTube. So to do that is like stupid, right? Plus like 39 CPS cases, like that's.
So imagine what's going through Penny's head right in this moment. What a perfect target he was. And for the record, I did not know he was on this. It was just a rare find, and that's not what this live is about, but it's just a little added extra. She drops him real quick when she clears up that she had nothing to do with my docs, which was a lie, but I don't give a fuck. I mean, Penny, honestly, like, she may be a little bit smart when it comes to scamming people online, but she just didn't know I'd been doxxed for years before that and still am till this very day. So everyone wonders why I have no problem putting out certain information. Yeah. Stop asking why. I give no fucks.
That's over the mountain and down the other side, right? Like, it's stupid, you know, and it all comes from one person.
Who went over the mountain and down the other side this time? I'll give you one guess. Penny took you for quite a ride, didn't she? And now it's all, oh no, we care about Benny. We care. We'll go back when he cleans up his act. Penny, you drove this man over the edge. You should be paying all that money back now. Give that man his $600. That's all he's asking for out of all that money. You better hit up his Cash App. Right? Gang, gang. Isn't that what you said, Penny? All the time. Just $600. Shouldn't be too much to ask. I mean, that's all he was asking for while he was walking himself into that jail, no? It's the least you could have done for your friend.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that there's ugly on all sides.
This was long before that.
I mean, it really is. There's boundaries being crossed on all sides. There's people I like and don't like are crossing boundaries and lines. And I have heard that I am contributing to people being doxxed or stalking people or all kinds of stuff. And that's not my sweet researchers who are mostly 50 to 60 years old, who they're being accused of being part of a team that is set up to dox people. And they are good people. And I absolutely hate that. They are good people.
It's like, for me, it's like this is silly, but check it out. Check it out. Like, my phone number is 214-624-2898. Like, if you feel like you want to bother me for an hour, call that number and bother me. Like, if you have an iPhone, like, that's my real phone number. Like, doxing is only this silly thing that YouTubers have made up in their mind that is like the only real show of force that's like a threat. Like, call me. Let's talk about it. Let's figure.
Luda, is that for real? That was his last check? She didn't give him his last check. What the fuck's wrong with her? She needs $600 that bad? What does she say again? I saw her besties literally quote her, everyone disappoints you at the end, or some cliche shit like that. Can't recall exactly. I guess that was the end goal in her case. Well, we all knew it was going to happen. She could only use them for so long. If she had the mindset to do it to BK, I'm sure there have been more vulnerable she's preyed on. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mommy Mars, I believe she's been doing this to people her whole life. It's probably how her and her husband afford their lives, off the backs of others. She's all up in that Bitcoin. He was ban evading and couldn't monetize. She offered to put his channel in her name for 50%, and he was making bank. He was the breadwinner. She was just collecting. Right. She just didn't hold up her end of the deal. She sat back and did nothing and collected every day. It's a Penny kind of story. Sure is. Who's next? Her husband likes expensive watches, rumor has it. Maybe she has some of that money hidden. You already know, in her cheeks. Yeah. She's saving it for a rainy day. She said on that drunk live that she likes to keep everything behind the scenes. Yes, she does. You just have to pay for it, though. You can't see what happens behind the scenes without paying $8.99. I'll always have a 99-cent membership because I'm not like Penny. And I know that not everybody has even $1 at the end of the day. So some people don't even have that. You know, there's people that cannot do membership. So I said when I did my channel, I would always keep a 99-cent level because I'm not a piece of shit. Penny, on the other hand, charges for everything. Actually, it's interesting because when she drops him off the panel, you hear her say a lot of things that, yes, Sunshine Girl. I guess he spends all her money on expensive watches. That's what Benny said on his last live. And I believe that. I actually do. I really do. Watches. I mean, I like Druzy, but I don't need to scam people to get it. Benny, why don't you get a job? Hey, Lisa Kleckner. AB will never be the next sucker. You want to know why? He uses everyone. AB hates Penny. Hates Penny. And he would never allow anybody to make money off of him. You know, he'll only make money off me. You know, all that merch. I never had merch. AB made merch off me. He collected quite a bit. People loved those sassafras hoodies and coffee mugs and all those things. And I was like, sure, you make the merch. He might make money off of his friends, but he'll never give money to his friends. I never wanted a cut. I don't care. I'm not here for that. I'm here just to talk shit at this point. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I like it. And because I came from the drama community, I've been really missing it lately. And I feel like doing drama on my channel and I like it.
Figure this thing out because I don't feel.
And I don't need to take advantage of people to do that.
When people put my information out there, you want to know why? Because I'm some sort of public figure. I'm some sort of person on the internet that there's whole microcosms of communications. And
no, I mentioned it because people are running around saying I had merch. I did not have merch. AB had merch in my name. And if I wanted a cut, I would have gotten a cut, but I didn't. You know nothing. You know nothing. Did you buy merch? I bet you did. I bet you bought my sassafras merch. Tell me you didn't. I won't believe you. Bye, Sosie.
About me in the nasty ways, like that stuff doesn't bother you, right? Like, does it look like it bothers her still today? It didn't make her change anything, did it?
Welcome, Scout.
These people have been doxxed not billions, but hundreds of times before. And so they only make a big deal about it when they have an audience, and then it's over within an hour.
Yeah, let me I saw a comment from Chasing Justice that is addressing something you're saying, and let me find it again. But if you can, you don't have to address it here. You can definitely address it on your channel, but I'm just gonna ask if you do address.
Too boring. Well, this isn't only drama, it's also informative, in my opinion. Like, if this is what she does to her friends, people need to know. Absolutely. That's why I'm here. And that's why I'll cover Penny until the end of my days. Until, if she wants to come clean about all the things that she's done, then maybe I'll stop. But we got a long way to go. Penny has not told the truth yet. At all. Like, ever. She never does. And it is informative, and we have to keep the people informed. They deserve to know. They've always deserved to know. And I don't think it's fair that this entire community is blinded to what she does. But the thing is all of my haters are clinging to Penny. The thing is, if you go do that to spite me, you're going to end up dealing with the same thing I had to deal with. Just so you know, it's not going to work out well for you. Georgia Peach, you're not welcome here. And if you don't like the way I talk, don't listen. Just unsub. Why are you up my ass? Why do you come here? You don't like the way I talk. You don't like my voice. Unsub. It's so easy. You're addicted to watching my streams, Georgia Peach. That's why you're everywhere I go. You're literally everywhere I go. You talk about me everywhere. You're obsessed. Yes, tell her, Caslin. They love me so much. They just want to be accepted here, and they never will be. I'm so sorry. I can't help you with that.
Address it here. Just please be respectful.
Why do you talk like that? Because I fucking feel like it, Georgia Peach. Why do you call yourself Georgia Peach? So original.
She says, I've been in every one of TM's chats. Your information was never in there. You can't just retaliate if you don't have facts. So she's saying that your stuff has never been shared.
Well, just because she says it so doesn't necessarily make it so. She is no official YouTube spokesperson that's been certified by anyone else. She gets involved in all the BS too. If you go look at her channel, it's been all cleaned up, right? So just last week she was really with the shits, pardon my French. So just because Lady Justice says that doesn't make it so.
No. That's
right?
Chasing Justice, not Lady.
Or Chasing Justice.
Were they talking about Lady Justice earlier? I think they were. And come to think of it, Lady Justice is the one that was on White Boys stating that she's seen Candace and Summer in the woods and that Summer's alive. She's the one that owns the Bill Bondsmith. She's also played a lot of games in Summer's case. Keep that in mind. With Ernie. She connects to Ernie. How about that? I've covered it. Nobody wants to listen. You're hearing the connections. You go back and listen, you can hear the connections, and you can hear that Benny felt something was weird there. My opinion. And he's covered her a couple times prior to Lady Justice playing fuck shit games over on White Boys. Way prior. Early on in this case. She also was involved with the Mystery Angels and all of the marathon shit internationally. That shit ain't right. That's why I'm not covering that Lily and Jack case. Why are you going to go out of bounds like that?
Just because Chasing Justice says it so doesn't make it so. Can we agree on that?
Well, yeah, people would have to go back and look.
Emergency me. I'm not even going to say what I heard about the Labradoodle stuff. I might save that for the next live. I don't know. It's bad. It's really bad though. And people have actually heard her abusing them. So yeah, it's kind of scary. I don't have proof of that. It's only what I've heard. And I'm not going to accuse her of it because I don't know, but that's what I've heard. And it came from, I'd say, a pretty reliable source. So I guess it wasn't that profitable though either. I also heard it wasn't, and that's why she's abusive to her animals.
Absolutely. Now you also have to go back. You have to go back and look at all the videos that's been deleted that you can't see, all the tabs that are turned off. Like, so for her to say that is a complete fallacy.
Okay, I stopped that at exactly 2 hours. Yeah, Chip. And where'd she go? So many games. Griffey, that's where Libby comes in, and that's where Penny infiltrated all of them with Chase, Twister, Nita, who I still have many questions for. I'm going to leave it at that. All covered prior in the last 8 months, 3 months. But I'm going to move on here because I don't want to be on here all day. My kids are gone. I got some peace and quiet. I cleaned. I want to listen to music. Just be lazy today, truthfully. Call my husband at work. Yeah, they just disappeared. Isn't that funny, Isabella? All the games they played. All right. So I know I left that one at 2 hours. I'm going to take that off. Oops, did I put my big face up? I did. Listen. Lips goes over with Dippy Escapes and Andrew. Mama Bear sent this to me. She told me where to start, so we're going to start where she did. I listened to some of it. I'm not going to listen to all of it. You guys got about 20 more minutes of my time. I'm going to respond to 20 minutes of this. I'm going to ask Lips to kiss my big fat fucking ass. I did not show my tits. I showed my cleavage. Because somebody was in my comment section making a rude comment. Are you jealous or something? Here. Woo. I got boobs, Lips. Does it bother you? Andrew was offended by it. I was laughing, listening. Are they better than your woman's since you were screaming out to your woman about my tits? Nothing I'm ashamed of. Sorry, guys. I'm vulgar here. I don't know what to tell you. They also go on to review my live and talk shit. But you know what? I think Lips is irrelevant to my life. She's a shit starter. Yeah, Andrew wants boobs. Something wrong with him, Isabella. For real. I mean, could you imagine if my husband was on here talking about some other girl's boobs? I would fucking be so mad. But they go on to talk shit and about my lawsuit and all kinds of shit. So we'll listen to a little bit of it. I don't know. I don't know how long I'll hang around. I'm trying to do 2 hours, maybe come back later when I'm bored. I get tired at like the 2 hour mark of being on here. Nothing against y'all, just I can't do these long lives like these people do. I try. I do. I really try. It just doesn't happen. Okay.
Hello, Miss Cora. Cora.
She sounds like a weirdo. She got a pillow on her.
I'm so good in the pillow.
And then they're talking like in front of a small child. What's this small child?
Feel good. I feel good.
Well, at least I got her tat started for her. She should be thankful. I think I pissed in it soup though.
Hurry up, Mike.
Let's go.
God damn, that stupid snake is back staring at me again.
What?
Yeah.
Bitch moved it back around.
What the fuck is this bitch doing?
Hey.
Is she taking out? Oh my god, dude! She just showed her fucking tits on screen.
Who did?
Fucking psycho.
Crystal just showed tits.
Well,
What?
Let me go look.
Are you for real?
oh,
there you go, Lips. There's your chance.
I don't see it.
Guys, what happened? For nudity.
Where?
She put dirt on. She showed the top of her pit. Yeah, that.
What the hell? What did I miss? What did you guys do?
We didn't do it. They're talking about somebody else that's doing a live, and apparently,
Look, there you go, babe. She thinks her titties are awesome. Sorry, honey. I suckled on better.
I don't see anything on her screen. Damn.
That's
No,
that was like 2-3 minutes ago.
all she did was show her cleavage.
Oh.
So
I went back because I really don't want to see that either.
Crystal. It was Crystal.
Ask Mama Bear.
Hell yeah, we got blamed for that too, and none of us knew that was you at all.
Can you fix my pillows?
What's Cora tore up about back there?
I hate the pillows.
Listen to me. Mama Bear's business is not my business unless I feel Mama Bear's husband took Summer. Okay? I didn't fact check that Mama Bear's husband is an RSO. I'm sorry. That's not where my head's at. That's not what I'm covering. That's not what I'm going to go forward to cover. And that doesn't even matter to me in my content when I'm covering Summer unless I had reason to feel that Mama Bear's husband took Summer. I don't have a reason to feel that. Mama Bear's been talking to me about this other girl that she's covering, the Taylor and the Jessica Miller matter. I don't quite understand that. I've been asking around about it because I don't get the connection except for Andrew did online dating with the girl. I would actually have questions for her because it is a little suspicious, but I don't know the story behind it. So I'm not going to go attacking Mama Bear because you don't like Mama Bear. Because if I remember correctly, there was a time where you guys were all really good friends with Mama Bear. And just because you're mad at her because she's calling bullshit out doesn't mean that I have to join it. It doesn't even mean that I'm covering it or really following it. I don't understand it. And you're not going to get on here and talk shit on me and say that I'm supporting an RSO because that's not true. What's true is I have my own channel and my own content, and I don't want thrown into your damn bullshit. I talk to Mama Bear. If I have a question for her, I'll ask her, and I will tell you because I'm transparent about everything I do. Please understand that. Mama Bear sent me messages about Lips, and now they're mad. So they're going on the attack because the lawsuits don't matter anymore. But for the past 3 years, Lips has said absolutely shit about me like a chicken pussy shit, hiding from me. Now all of a sudden the bitch got big balls. I'm going to tell you what. Ain't nobody fucking scared of you or your bullshit that you spew, the rumors that you talk about. To me, it's just jealousy or you know something that you shouldn't know. You have also played a lot of fuck shit games in Summer's case with Linda. I ain't scared of you. I wasn't scared of you then, and I'm not scared of your lying ass now. So you can fuck all the way the fuck off, kiss my white fat ass and my cleavage, my tits. I don't give a fuck about you. Do you understand that? The police have all the information and they see what you're doing. If you're involved in something, they'll figure it out. I don't have to. And I don't have to join in on your stupid bullshit neither. You have a problem, come over here. I've let you on my panel. I'm not scared of you, Lips. Just come in my chat and tell me you want a link. Talk shit to my face, not behind my back, and then to pull other people that I've not really even had much of a conversation with. Dippy, I don't know who I piss excellent. Oh, that's Lips. She pisses excellence. Why your face be looking like you smell something rank all the fucking time? Want to tell me that? All you do is talk shit. That's all you can do. You're a shit talker, a drama starter, and you just do it for content because you know if I say your name that you're going to get views. Nobody's worried about you except for the law enforcement, in my opinion. Fuck off. But I'll let you guys listen to this. Yep, like you said, people aren't shit. And then she does all this talking about sex, boobs, summer, in front of her small children. At least I make my grandchildren leave the room. You're a piss poor mother, in my opinion. I've seen many examples of it. No wonder why you and Andrew were birds of the feather. Because he's a piss poor father. Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself to even show your face, bitch.
My pillow's so stupid.
Damn, Cora, why don't you be a little bit nice?
I know. She was all tore up.
She's over here. Pillow fighting, so. Yep.
I wish I could see it. She's gonna get in there and start throwing.
Punching it.
This bitch, Helen, right?
I don't want to do
Get it, girl. Get it.
Yeah, but listen, this chick Helen asked why would anybody open a home for an RSOs? I said at Helen.
Oh,
Mama Bear. She did have
How long has Bridget's been out? She just came back out, not even maybe 10 minutes ago.
Oops.
Did I say that? Well, that's fine. I was gonna go in there in a few minutes anyway and let one know now.
Did you see? Hi, Crystal. Did you see the lot of producer did run about you and your court stuff and harassing someone? Yeah, Joe Brown just finally saw the court.
I ain't a pussy.
Oh Lord,
You're
watch
acting
that.
like one right now.
How dare you say that to me, bitch? If I could make it to Michigan, I'd smack the fucking white into your hair.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
You.
That's all you got to say.
Whoa. He knows I'm not in Michigan, but
I don't fucking use
hell, the way it looked, everybody knows I'm not in Michigan.
Horn bombs for everyone that goes by the moniker of Jeanette Smith or Mama Bear.
No, that has nothing to do with me.
Or Crystal's Crime and Music.
Just thought you were alive. Look at this experience point thing. This is weird.
I have nothing to do with none of that. Yeah,
Ain't got nothing to do because I think she is on StreamYard. Oh, she paid for that.
Oh, maybe. Seems like a YouTube thing, but that was a whole bunch of people on our list.
What'd you do?
Wait, for you being naughty?
Oh.
What? I'm gonna go get the other bag of dog food. Just watch the kitties. I'm watching.
Watch this. I'm gonna put this in chat in big bold letters.
Well, my dogs are about to go nuts because I'm getting them. You're watching them. I thought you were going to the truck. I am. I had to bring this one in because I had to stop. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to end this here for now, guys, because I've got to get these dogs fed.
Okay.
And I don't want to keep muting out because they're gonna get loud and louder.
All right, that's fine. Be that way.
Well, I mean, I can keep muted out, and you guys could just
my children.
If
We're
you
just
good,
trolling
don't
people.
fuck with my channel.
We're just trolling people.
So if Jody has a problem with that, she can kiss my whole white ass.
Oh, really?
And make the right
Because Jody finally got her hands on Crystal's new harassment charges. I said it fucking weeks ago. A month ago.
Nice.
Been a minute.
I can't with lips. I piss backwards.
Oh, that's gonna get her fucking goat going.
So I have no reason.
Oh shit, Andrew.
Why didn't you get one green, one blue? Because that's the way it's.
Listen, I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
I can't remember. Thank you, Minnie.
No, not thank you.
So I'm not too worried about them charges or who talks about them.
I can't thank
have
Andrew.
Nothing to hide and never did, and I'm a bitch.
Her husband is an asshole.
Hold on, I'm trying to manifest something here.
And if I find out that there's something might have happened to one of my children at your hands,
making something happen.
I'm going for fucking jugular.
Oh,
Why are we listening to her?
I better get my record button out.
I'll eat the fucking flying.
Oh, you got to figure out how to do that because you fucked it up this morning.
He's talking about our new court case finally. Okay. You whack job.
Press more charges. I'll eat that fine too.
No, you won't.
Mama
You ain't got no
brought
money.
an RSO into her home. I don't know nothing about that.
She married him for 17 years.
So that you would have to ask Mama Bear about that.
We don't need to ask her. The facts are out there.
And for whatever case it is I'm covering, I don't spread rumors and gossip.
Yes, you do.
It's true because I never seen it with my eyes.
Whoa.
And even if it was, I have enough problems on here that
Yeah, you do.
really don't need anymore.
Yeah.
And that's her prerogative. And if you want to attack her, please go do that on her channel and not mine. But thank you for being here and not being rude in that comment. You're still welcome to grab her. Okay, well, just because you say it's a fact doesn't mean that it is. And it's nothing I'm going to dig into.
No, the facts are out there, lady. Well, she doesn't listen to facts. She likes to listen to the gossip in the moment. Stop it, crazy. You were just being crazy, girl.
If he's a registered RSO, let her please deal with that.
Ow, why bonked your head? Or you bonked your head. Someone bonked your head.
That's the first creator she hasn't tried to go after for charges like that.
Yep. Somebody's here. Daddy's back.
That's kind of weird. It makes me think a little bit.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah. Don't think too hard though, because nothing she puts out is, like that.
Well, I gotta say, nothing seems to surprise me these days.
That's the way you have to stay. Unsurprised. You have to keep your regular surprise face. Let's practice. Or what other kind of surprise face can we got? No, he's here right now. So look out the window.
Which I want to talk about while
Go
we're
look.
going through. So I will be on some of Tiffany's, probably
I want
not
to
all
help
of
you.
it. I started last night. If you missed it, you can see some of my thoughts there.
Yeah, Andrew needs to worry about his and leave others alone. Okay. I don't think it's Andrew out there pushing anything other than, something that's factual.
I think it's
What?
important that
Please
we
what? Go see.
go through past things that have happened in Summer's case.
I'm not helping you to
Where
the
it
couch.
concerns people who fought really hard to try to silence me. Things I never understood.
You have your own channel. Nobody can silence you. Oh my God.
You're right. Your attempt at silencing me failed, and I'm done listening to this. I don't care what people have to say about me. I'm here. If you have a problem with me, you're welcome to come over to my live and ask me anything. I don't block unless you become ignorant. I will respect you when you're in my chat or on my panel. You have no respect. You spread lies. You go after people's children. You lie about being witness to shit that you're not witness to unless you really are connected somewhere, some way, somehow. You're a pig. You talk like this in front of your child. So does Andrew. You have no self-respect for yourself or your children. You know what I think, you lips? I think you're a cunt. I'm not scared of you. Keep your shit talking going. It only shows what kind of human you really are in true life. I personally think you're a piece of shit, and I have no problem saying that. But I am at my 2-hour mark. I'm going to go. Peace and love. Maybe I'll be back later tonight. I want to go jam and listen to music a little bit. Call my husband. Relax today. It's quiet in my home. I ain't even cleaning. I'm being a lazy bitch today. You want to talk shit on it, lips? Kiss my whole white ass and my tits. Jealous. All right, guys. To the rest of you. Mwah. Peace and love. Thank you for your support. Hit the like button. Share. Subscribe. Do all the fun YouTube stuff. I'll see you later. Bye.